Hello and welcome or welcome back. My name is V and today here with me is Neon Genesis. Today we are going to be watching the Harbingers series, which for those of you who might be new to it is kind of a World of Warcraft anime but not anime. So it's basically 5 or 6 minute videos that go a little deeper into the lore of certain characters. Neon, you excited?
I'm excited. Well, I can see the title of the video already, so I am excited, actually. Really excited to find out a bit more details about the world, get myself more invested and excited, even more excited than I already am when I'm recording my with you anyway. But I'm very excited.
I think this is going to be really cool for us because we're going to watch the Gul'dan's Harbinger anime, which will give you additional lore on Gul'dan, which you've seen in the movies. We'll watch Khadgar, which you've seen a little bit of in the movies as well, and of Illidan, who is, the poster boy of the Burning Crusade, but you still might not know why. So I think it's a really good idea to watch these to help you out a little bit.
Have I met Illidan yet in any form or capacity?
No, not yet. But that's
not
okay.
In the WoW movie either, have I?
No, you've met Malfurion, which is Illidan's brother.
I've only met them in WoW though, not in the movie.
No, they're not going to be in the. He's not going to be in the movie.
No, I keep talking about Warcraft movie, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah, I know, but that's fine. That's fine. I mean, the movie is great, but unfortunately, it doesn't have Illidan, and a lot of people are advocating, for some sort of Illidan lore, Illidan movie, because Illidan is actually quite a beloved character. So I hope you'll enjoy learning about him. You, however, if you happen to be new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and do leave this video a like to please the algorithm a little bit. We also have an Adventures in Azeroth series where we are going through World of Warcraft for Neon for the first time ever, and for me, first time on camera technically, and it's been 6 or 7 years since I've gone through these zones for the first time, so I don't remember the quests, but I'm having a blast just going around with my mage in shining armor and I'm playing priest for the first time ever, so it's quite fun. Mage. Yes.
This is like, I don't know,
paladin something.
I don't know. I was doing,
let's watch the video. All right. Are you okay with starting with Gul'dan?
I am indeed ready.
I haven't
Give me my World of Warcraft.
I haven't seen these in such a very long time. I forgot pretty much everything about them. I think I only saw them like once when they came out, and I'm super happy that I get to watch them again. Let's go. Working.
Blizzard Entertainment.
Sound?
Sound. I hear everything.
No one living has heard of the village of my birth. Gul'dan, you pathetic wretch! Long have you refused your place in this clan. Now, we rid ourselves of your filth once and for all. Get it over with. So, even now you test me! Enough! I have tried to help him find his place among us. I failed. Gul'dan, there's nothing more I can do for you. But no, I have always believed there is greatness within you. Seek out the throne of the elements. Perhaps there you will find your destiny. Begone, cripple! You are cast out. In the wastes, you will understand what it means to have no people.
Love the art.
Yeah, it's amazing art. I know little bits about Gul'dan already, so this is very interesting.
This is his past, yeah.
From childhood,
Yeah.
my deformity made me a target for mockery and dismissal. I knew I was meant for more than the clan would ever allow of me, and I hated them for it.
The story is quite inspiring.
Alone and starving, I began to consider that the safety and shelter of a clan might be better than endless suffering. The bitterness that had sustained me all my life ate at me until nothing was left.
So he got cast out, right? And that was his like a walking stick, if you like.
In my
Yeah.
weakness, the words of the old shaman pierced the cold. Seek out the throne of the elements.
Which exists, by the way. In game.
I don't know if I know about that, do I?
Not yet.
I offered myself in the service of whatever would end my anguish.
Oh wow, this art style though, holy moly.
So nice.
Really nice.
So he was rejected by the elements. The elements didn't want him because he wasn't pure enough. Or,
Abandoned me. But in their absence,
What?
other voices whispered.
Where did that come from though?
I'll explain.
We'll talk after, yeah. No worries.
They had come to me to offer a gift. In return, I would become the harbinger of their fury. Gul'dan. How dare you return here? You may never rejoin your people. My people? I have no people!
Holy.
I would never again grovel for a place in this world. Instead, thank you. I found my destiny. No one living has heard of the village of my birth. And no one ever will.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me see if I followed that video well. So this obviously is a backstory of Gul'dan. We know that Gul'dan was essentially a cripple. So I don't like the word cripple, but that's basically what it was.
They used it, so.
Yeah, a defect or whatever you want to call it. But he was obviously an orc, right? But a kind of defect or a crippled orc for whatever reason. I don't know if I'm meant to know who the person in tribe was who was like, "Get out of our tribe" and all this. I'm not sure if I'm meant to know who that is, or if that's an important character, or if it's just a placeholder of us to just represent. Or is it representing to us that it's just that his tribe was saying, "Get out, you're weak, you're cast out," or whatever?
As they let you know, no one ever heard of the city, and no one ever will. So you're meant to forget them because he just erased them from existence. Yeah.
Right. So we don't know where this took place, right?
No.
Where that conversation. Yeah. And then, so he went off after apparently beating some birds, with his walking stick because he was just crippled. Blah blah. But basically, it's just showing you that he's this broken. I don't want to say man, but broken and shattered man. And then he went off to, I'm guessing, I couldn't quite see, but like, is it like 4 statues of the 4 elements? Is that correct?
Yes, it's called the Throne of the Elements, and in the later expansion, you do get to see it.
Oh, okay, cool. Later expansion after more questions soon. He offered himself to these 4 elements. The elements were coming around, and they were about to touch him to absorb into him or whatever, and they obviously rejected him, correct?
Yes.
Right. And then, but for some reason, he shed a tear and it landed in the water and fell.
So it's a graphical representation of what actually happened. And according to the lore, especially from the books, Gul'dan was actually contacted by the forces and demons from the Legion, basically the demonic forces, and they are the ones who started, like they said, whispering to him and promising him power. So he started to get visions because he was targeted, and he was targeted because of who he was, because he was susceptible to, to wanting power and using it for himself and whatnot. So basically, he was the one who brought Fel and who brought this magic to the other orcs. This is just an artistic representation of what happened, so it's not fully accurate. He didn't like shed a tear and summoned Fel or anything of this sort.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it just more like a representation that he all of a sudden has Fel? That this, like he brought Fel upon us, basically.
Well, he was contacted. He didn't know it was pure evil. He didn't necessarily want to be evil. He was just tired of being outcast. And it's one of the most iconic villain origin stories, in my opinion, because I think that a lot of villains actually have, not act like Gul'dan, but, have a similar origin story where they were bullied and outcast, and they got sick and tired of it and just started looking out for themselves. And I think that can be really inspiring if you don't go around killing people. But in Gul'dan's case, he was just sick and tired of everything. He came back and he was like, okay, all of you, you're gone.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. I think it's really interesting because he wasn't wanting to be evil. He just wanted to be equal, ironically, and he wanted to be accepted, which I'm sure we can all relate to at times. Accepted and part of feeling like a sense of belonging. But him being a cripple, apparently affected this. Apparently.
So being a cripple is not necessarily a correct representation. He was, in the books and in the lore, he was described more as a weakling. Not the same, just poor body structure, no muscles, no nothing, not even looking like an orc per se, resembling more like a human, even though they didn't know what humans were. He has more human-like body than orc, so he was just a weakling among them.
Yeah, I think in the artwork they did quite a good job at representing that. I mean, obviously, I'm learning the word crippled from this, but also from watching the Warcraft movie. Which, by the way, if you haven't seen the Warcraft movie, I actually really enjoyed it. For those who are listening, but I think they did a good job of representing this because they showed him with almost human regular sized legs, but his back maybe had the structure of an orc, but the rest of his arms and legs just looked skinny and long. So
he's also a bit hunched. If you notice, I think that's what they're referring to as crippled. His spine looks a bit not developed, so he is a bit hunched down. And even in the World of Warcraft movie, you can see that he has these horns coming out of his back, but his back is still hunched over, so he's not considered a fully healthy orc per se.
I remember when we watched the Warcraft movie, and even now, you've mentioned he had like these horns on his back, and during the movie, which by the way, if you're watching this, if you haven't seen us react to the Warcraft movie, it's on the channel as well. If you want to see us, we've actually have to trimmed it all out and stuff, certain edits for the YouTube purposes, but it might be worth a little watch, even if you've only watched it once. But V did mention in that video to me that these horns coming out are not normal. So can you explain the reason why he has those horns, V?
So the horns are pretty much the result of the fell corruption, and I think you were able to see Blackhand as well. Like when he was put into fell, sort of vines started coming out of his arm. So that's just a visual representation of the fell corruption. So he accepted fell, and he got some, let's say, power in return. So a little bit of demonic power he gained, like demonic looks. He gained the horns and whatnot. And I don't know what the purpose is. I guess everybody's body, this is my theory, but I think that everybody's body reacts differently to fel, and I think that the fel does grant you some things that you want. And I think that this is how I see it. I think that Gul'dan really wanted to take up more space. That's how I perceive it. So by accepting Fel, he got these massive like horns on his back, which made him look bigger. And I think that that is what he always wanted. He never really used them for combat or anything, but I think that they were very important because they allowed him to physically take more space. That's how I see it.
Yeah, take more space, look chunkier, look bulkier, look stronger. And it really does work for him. I mean, he looks pretty gruesome in the movie Warcraft anyway. But yeah, really interesting backstory. He obviously went back to his tribe or village or wherever it was and just basically infected all these orcs. That's my understanding towards the end, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, he used fel magic and he just killed them. That's pretty much what happened. So he just erased them. Yeah, he just erased it. That's the point of him at the beginning saying, if you caught it, no one's ever heard of the name of the village where I was born. And then at the end, he repeats that and he says, no one's ever heard of the name of the village that I was born, and no one ever will. So he's giving you the conclusion. Yes, exactly.
Oh my God. And so, so my big overarching question here, so this is slightly off topic of the actual video we've just watched, but when in timeline-ish purposes, does this happen? Has this already happened in our World of Warcraft playthrough? Because we're also in the Burning Crusade right now. Has that happened already? I presume it already has because obviously these orcs are already infected, but did that happen like how long ago? Like, do we know like timeline or anything or?
Yes, well, this has happened probably, this is just my wild guess, but it had to have happened 20 to 30 years before the time of the Burning Crusade, at least, because Gul'dan was still quite young, I guess, when he received this power. So the way it went is Gul'dan received the power, he gave the power to the chosen orcs, either willingly or by force. They attacked the Draenei, who also lived in Outland, and then they had to migrate, and over time the land died off because of this fel magic, which was the point of the Burning Legion, to basically conquer the world. And Gul'dan was just a conduit for this power. He wasn't actually meant to have this power, but he thought that he was more important to the Burning Legion than he really was. So over time he just basically got everyone corrupted. The Draenei had to move out, the orcs went into war. Some of them went and became fel orcs. Some of them stayed around. Some of them were fully corrupted by demonic presence, and they turned into like those red orcs. It's quite a development from a story about someone who used to be bullied.
And so one final question, and possibly the last question of this video maybe, but and so do I know, or do people know where Gul'dan resides? Because at the moment I haven't heard anything yet from the start of Base of WoW up until the Burning Crusade. I haven't heard the name Gul'dan yet, but I would like to start thinking that we're gonna soon.
That's a spoiler. I can't actually tell you that. As you can see on screen, the date is the 30th of August, 2016, and this
Yeah.
is actually the date of the expansion of the Wrath of the Burning Legion.
Oh, so this was like the hype up for it.
Yes, so his story actually goes on and develops into the Wrath of the Burning Legion because obviously he's connected to it. So I can't tell you anything just yet.
So that's going to be, I don't remember the order of expansions because there's so many now, and obviously as a new player. So obviously you've got base World of Warcraft, you've got Burning Crusade, and then you've got
Wrath of the Lich King, yes.
yeah,
And
then is it's
Cataclysm,
then it's Cataclysm, then it's Legion.
Mist of Pandaria,
Oh my god, wow.
and then Warlords of Draenor,
Oh my god.
and then Wrath of the Burning Legion.
Oh, so and that's where this will pick up.
Yes. So we have some work to do.
Wow.
There's more exciting things to go through in the meantime. You have to learn the lore of the Lich King, which is one of the most exciting lores ever, and that's the next expansion. So I'm really looking forward to going through that with you. Are you ready for the next video?
I'm ready for the next video.
Okay. So you have a choice, actually. You know both of the characters, but would you like to see the story of Khadgar or Illidan? Next.
I do remember the name Illidan. Let's go with Khadgar next. Was there another one that was it just Khadgar, Illidan, and Gul'dan we're watching tonight?
So yes, so there's more, and that is a different series. It's called the Harbingers series, and a set of different characters will be there.
Okay. Are we doing them at a time?
Yes. We can watch them next week if you want.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that would be cool.
Okay, so this is the story of Khadgar. You already know him from the movie, and you know a little bit maybe from my War Within spoilers.
Could you do you think you could turn the audio up a little bit more? Just a little bit more.
Sure, yeah, of course.
Yeah, this is plenty. Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
Just want to be immersed. I'm ready.
I haven't seen these in a while.
Oh, can you put captions on as well? It might help with subtitles for people because we talk over it.
The Burning Legion has returned. Stronger, more determined than ever before. I venture to Karazhan on a mission of desperation.
Some of the stuff you'll know.
So I remember what Karazhan is, obviously. I think I do.
Show yourself.
My apprentice returns. It is good to see you again, Khadgar.
Medivh?
Oh my god.
My spirit is bound to this tower.
Yes, of course. Medivh, there is so much I
You
need.
look terrible, old friend. Why have you come here?
The Burning Legion invades again. I come seeking the knowledge you kept here. Anything that can help me stand against them.
Defeating the Legion this time will take more than some spell, I'm afraid. You came seeking knowledge. What you need is a weapon.
I don't understand.
You defeated me when I was consumed by fell madness, but you never took the next step toward your destiny. It is time Azeroth had a guardian once again.
A guardian? After your failings, it was decided that none could resist the temptation of such power. No, we don't need a guardian, Medivh.
Well, then, I ask again, why are you here? If not a guardian, if not you, then who can stop the approaching storm? If you cannot embrace your fate, then all you have accomplished, all you have sacrificed, will have been for nothing.
It's a vision.
Even
okay.
if I said yes, none now remain to bestow the powers of a guardian upon me.
I remain. I knew this day would come. Before my death, I imbued this tome with an echo of my essence. Open it. Absorb its energies as your own.
No, I cannot. I should not.
The fate of Azeroth rests in your hands, Khadgar. Accept your desires. Show the Legion the true might of a Guardian. Be honest with yourself, if not with me. You know you are destined for this.
Oh, it is true. I have thought about becoming the Guardian every day. Even now, I desire it. I've yearned for the Legion to cringe before the fury I would unleash. And that is why I can never accept your offer. Never be the Legion's pawn, and this tower will not be its den! I came to Karazhan seeking knowledge. What I found was a reminder that no single person, not even a Guardian, can stand against the Legion alone. As before, we must band together, united, for Azeroth.
Hi.
Yeah, that was intense.
That gives me goosebumps every time. So, how did you, what are your thoughts, first of all, before I start answering some questions, which I'm sure you have?
I mean, that was really good. I mean, I said, "Oh my god," because I obviously with the Warcraft movie, which again I keep ranting on about the Warcraft movie because I know maybe it wasn't so well received, but for me as a beginner and for someone who at that point had dived into WoW and then watched the movie a little bit, everything made more sense in WoW. So now I know that these characters, Medivh and Khadgar and all this kind of stuff, and I know that Karazhan was the place. Forgive me for being a complete noob here, but Karazhan was the big long structure thing. That's near Redwood Mountains, if I remember rightly, from the Warcraft game, from the World of Warcraft game. I think it's not too far from there, if I remember. And that is where that big pool was from the Warcraft movie where Medivh was like bathing in his...
That was inside of Karazhan, yes.
Yeah, that was... So that's Karazhan. And so Khadgar was going back here looking for some sort of knowledge or something or some form of weapon, was it, to fight against the Legion, is it?
So the story is that, obviously from the cinematic, you already see that Medivh is long gone, there's no Guardian, and there is a second Legion invasion happening to Azeroth, and Khadgar is basically like, oh shit, what do I do? We don't have an answer, we don't know what to do, and he went basically looking for help. But what he recognized, even though Medivh's spirit did appear and offered him this power, he recognized that even his spirit is tainted by the Legion because of the way they were trying to tempt him. And you can see that there is that moment of temptation, and Khadgar is like, oh, will I, won't I? But he remains true to himself, and he is very pure when it comes to that. And I am very glad that they didn't corrupt him there, that basically he remained who he was. So he ended up basically defeating the demon that was, well, the spirit or the remnant of the demon that actually corrupted Medivh from the cinematic, at least. So I thought that was very impressive, and it really does give me goosebumps, and it just gives you a little bit of a glimpse of why Breath of the Burning Legion expansion is so beloved, is because it has these epic moments, and it actually has a very inspirational message as well. So Khadgar in it says, no one man can stand against something, we have to do it together. And this time it doesn't sound like empty words, it's actually really powerful how he delivers this message and refuses basically to be all powerful, which is a complete contrast of what Gul'dan did. So he was just like, no, I will trust in my power and we'll figure it out together. And this is where you come in the story as a player.
So is this the corrupt... So basically, as we know, Medivh's no longer there, as we know, but is it like a remnant, corrupted version of him that's there then?
Like a ghost.
Yeah, like a ghost, but a corrupted ghost, right?
Well, yeah, he was never uncorrupt, because since the moment of his conception, since the moment, not the conception, but since he was a baby, like in, I explained that part in one of the previous videos, but since his mother was pregnant with him, he's been basically tainted. So he was never born fully, let's say, devoid of fel.
Yeah, he's like a half-breed, right?
I wouldn't say half-breed, just corrupted with demonic forces, that's it.
So this like ghost version of Medivh had turned into the, I'm guessing in the art style, it was meant to be like the same thing that we see in the Warcraft movie with the horns and all this, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, he turned into essentially that, and okay, it's such a cool backstory. And again, this happens at the same time as when Gul'dan was happening, or is this a different time?
This is a similar timeline, because Gul'dan's story actually, the way it started way long ago. But Gul'dan receiving demonic energies and fel and whatnot, it happened before this had happened. So this whole invasion, it was a little bit after that, obviously, because Gul'dan played an important part in it. But it all resolves in Wrath of the Burning Legion, which I'm not going to spoil, but these character stories are not spoilery, but they give you the backstory of who these people are, who you've already heard of.
Yeah, oh, so cool. And Khadgar's such a cool character. Really like, I presume this must be a voice actor, or is it fan-made, or whatever, of whoever did this Khadgar one, because I love the voice actor. I think it was really good.
This is made by World of Warcraft, and I think this is just, I don't want to say this because it might not be how I perceive it, but I think that these artists were working independently and were actually hired then by Blizzard to do these kinds of things. I think that's how it started. So this wasn't meant to be a series, but I think that this is where Blizzard learned, okay, it's better to have these artists on our side rather than creating fanfic of their own.
Maybe, yeah. Oh, so cool.
Right?
Really interesting though. Yeah.
I think that a lot of people think that World of Warcraft doesn't have a story, but if you have a little bit of guidance, know where to look for, and have someone to at least steer you in the right direction a little bit, you can learn a lot.
Yeah, and like you can argue, like FF14, they have their main story quest person. It's okay, you talk to this person, and even then they have like this light filler content where you're not getting a full juice of story. Sometimes it's like, oh, go and collect me 4 pieces of wood or whatever, so you don't feel like the hero collecting wood, but then you get the big juicy story where the things are happening and all this kind of stuff. In this game, you have no kind of main story go-to guy
yet
anyway, and I don't know when that starts yet, but at the moment it's essentially, and I'm not downplaying World of Warcraft, I'm having a blast and I'm excited for it, but at the moment it's a glorified huge amount of world building, even down to the Burning Crusade. You're still just going around these zones and finding out what's going on around the world. And that's your job as a new player, essentially, is to go around all these zones and questing and leveling up, essentially, but also learning the lore, the lay of the land, if you like, but also the lore on each of these zones and what these, whether it's the Draenei or the Orcs or whatever, what they're up to in each of these areas. And maybe they're like marching towards something or working towards something, and obviously just getting a feel for like, what are people's struggles, what are people's intentions, what are they trying to do, are they trying to live a peaceful life, are they trying to get strong, why do they hate Orcs, why do they hate the Draenei, whatever, like, why is it that they're doing what they're doing? And that's what you're essentially doing in WoW, the base WoW, and at the moment, by the sounds of it, in or certainly looking like that at the moment from my experience in the Burning Crusade as well.
Yeah, that's essentially what it is, and that's why I like these. It's not as linear as it is in Final Fantasy XIV. You have to explore a little bit, but I'm glad that at least I have some knowledge regarding this, so that I can share it with someone. I don't know everything. I know very little in comparison to some people who actually research this kind of stuff, but I'm glad we're doing it together.
We're having so much fun with it.
Me too.
I'm just having a blast with it, honestly.
Me too. Are you ready for the next one?
Yes, more. Inject it into my veins.
We weren't watching. I was just testing the sound, by the way.
I haven't seen any of this.
I'm saying it to them.
Possible captions again, but we'll see.
They're not that good. These ones are not available here, unfortunately.
Okay.
When it comes to Illidan, I believe that this cinematic is actually... These Harbinger cinematics are actually included in the game as well at some point. So they are present in the Wrath of the Burning Legion expansion as well. So you can watch these cinematics in game, which is actually really wonderful. But they were available before that.
In this exact art style, or in
Yes.
like FMV style? Oh,
No.
okay.
This is available. By the way, just as a little bit of a, I guess, future spoiler, not so much, but in the Wrath of the Burning Legion, a new race was added as available as players. So in Wrath of the Burning Legion, you were finally able to create your own demon hunter. So demon hunters did not used to be, actually I said a race, but it's a class. So yes, so different, yes, essentially they can be created by, I believe it's only a very, very small amount of races, like elves, blood elves, obviously, because they were the ones who were, I don't want to spoil it. Anyway, they were...
I think I know a little bit from not necessarily research, but from I know a little bit for some reason. I'm trying to think where I knew this information. But Illidan is a guy, and it wasn't he a... Oh god, I know this video, I'm sure will answer some questions, so I'm testing myself before I watch it to check if I'm a nerd or not. Probably not so much. But I know this had something to do with Sylvanas, maybe. And I don't remember if and maybe Malfurion is Illidan Malfurion's brother. I think it might be. Less anyway.
So Sylvanas, she has a separate story. Obviously, she clashes at some point, and we are going to learn about Sylvanas in Wrath of the Lich King. I cannot wait. She's one of my most beloved characters. Unfortunately. Yes, I'm okay. I'm not going to talk about her because I will end up spoiling something.
That's all right.
But when it comes to Illidan, yes, he is Malfurion's brother and essentially had the hots for Malfurion's wife, Tyrande. So that's a whole nother can of worms to open there. So he has a very unfortunate love story. But that's not the point of his character. It's just it's a little bit of a trivia. He is a very, very powerful character and was also in a way seen as an outcast. So if you can see some similarities between these Harbingers, they were all in some way at some point seen as outcasts, but they've dealt with it in very different ways. So we're going to find out how Illidan has handled his. Ready?
Ready, let's go. Inject it into my veins.
Right.
I'm ready. Nice and loud in my ears. I'm immersed.
You were not prepared.
Oh, we weren't. Oh.
This is my favorite one, though.
I like how it's green as
The
well,
enemy
you know?
came into our world. Their only desire to extinguish all life. They slaughtered our loved ones. They razed our homes, our cities, and our sacred places. You tried to stop them, and you failed. And so you came to me. Nothing remaining of you but rage and determination. And you learned that the things that once tormented you could give you power. Now you see that there is no sacrifice too great if it brings an end to the burning legion.
But... Lord Illidan... demonic energies course through our veins. They gnaw at our every thought. What makes us any different from the monsters we fight?
You question the Master. We will not sit idly like those on Azeroth, waiting to become the demon's prey. We will take this war to the Legion's worlds and prey upon them!
Badass.
Demon Hunters, you dare attack the Doom Lord Asgarth in his own domain? Your mission has failed. Your cause dies with them. You smell more of demon than hunter. You would serve us well.
Never.
You wish to know the difference between the demons and us. They will stop at nothing to destroy our world.
And we will sacrifice everything to save it.
The Legion will know of this victory, and they will fear you, my Illidari. Now, you are prepared.
Oh my gosh, so good. Makes me want to play Legion, honestly.
All in good time. The first thing I say every single time I see green is that Fel?
That is Val, yes.
And I can see that, I don't know if it was Illidan who did it, but I can see that all these people are just blind, which now explains that when we were creating our race at the very beginning, why you can choose to have a blindfolded night elf. So that makes sense.
So when it comes to their blindness, they actually don't have, well, they're not blind per se, but they do sacrifice their mortal sight to gain something called demonic vision. And you also have that as an ability in game, which basically allows you to see things that are not normally seen with naked eye and stuff like that. Okay. So just a little bit of a recap. Basically, Illidan was an outcast because his methods are radical. He is very proactive, and he essentially has the same goal as everyone on Azeroth, wanting to fight these forces, but everyone is like, okay, so we'll defend when they attack, and Illidan will take no shit, and he will go and he will attack them instead before they attack us. Or them. I say us. I am fully immersed into this. So he was an outcast because of that, because he actually took in the demonic energies, which was heavily against rules by everyone on Azeroth, and you can assume why his druid, family didn't take kindly to this kind of thing. But essentially, he has a very proactive goal, and we've already faced some Illidari in game. Some of our enemies, I think in dungeons or somewhere, were Illidari. Maybe you didn't catch on to that. But
No, I do remember you saying, I think it was in one of our playthrough videos, that they called him Illidari, as in like an army of Illidan, basically, right?
yes,
Like people, like his disciples, if you will.
we just don't know much about them just yet, because it hasn't been explained yet, and you haven't been to the raid and blah blah. It's a whole thing and a whole story. So when at that moment in time when they are in the game, you actually don't really know much about what's happening, but later on everything gets connected and explained. So Illidan essentially has created an army of these essentially night elves who were at the brink of extinction, and like the whole animation says, they had nothing to lose anymore. So he decided that they're going to do things in a little bit of a different way. And I think that overall I personally think that he had a point there, and he made the right decision. But this is just this is just me. I think that he is good at what he does, and he is one of the most beloved characters. And honestly, his voice actor is so iconic, and his work really means a lot to me. You haven't played Nier Replicant yet, but he plays a very, very important role in Nier Replicant, and every single time I hear his voice, I can't spoil it for you. I'm sorry. You're going to have to play the game. It's my top 3 games of all time, and hopefully one day you will see the game. But this voice actor, knowing what I know about World of Warcraft, having heard this voice so many times throughout Legion, and just, getting to spend time with Illidan, hearing it in Nier Replicant was just pure bliss. And it's one of the reasons why I love the game so much.
I can't remember if I asked you already, and I think you might have said, oh, it's a spoiler. I'm going to ask the same question with Illidan, but do I know where they are at the moment?
So he said, at the moment, you don't. And I'm going to be fully honest, I don't exactly know how his story ends, because I think around that time I also stopped playing. So there are some conclusions to the story that I haven't seen myself yet, but I know a lot of where he was. So in this particular cinematic, he went to the demonic world. And he decided that, he's not going to sit on Azeroth. He's actually traveled to Outland, where we are right now, and he's made that his home. So that's one of his, I guess, residencies, right? So he decided that is essentially a better stronghold to fight demons than to just sit on Azeroth and wait in Teldrassil until they get attacked.
So he's in the demonic world right now.
Technically, you could say that Outland is somewhat of a demonic world, because Outland was essentially conquered, not fully. That's why all of these people are there, but it's a point of invasion. So you could argue that even Outland, where he is right now, that it is pretty much demonic.
And Gul'dan, have you told me where he is at the moment?
I can't tell you.
That's fine. Okay. When will I find out? Will I find out 3 expansions later? Or will I find out soon? But
That depends if we end up listening to the audiobooks or reading more about the lore. Because if we do, then you might learn some things. But I want to steer clear of the spoilers for now, so that you can experience the story in its own way.
I'm there going, where is he?
Right? Don't go searching for him.
I'm like Batman right now, Dark Knight. I'm like, where is he? I'm like, where is he?
Did you enjoy the series?
I really did. I love the art style. Voice actors are 10 out of 10. Holy, so good.
Yeah.
Really good voice actors. Very immersive. I'm not one for like art style comic book strip type videos, I guess, but these have done really well, and they really like help to bring the imagination to life of just the art style. Also, Illidan looks badass. Like, he looks so badass.
What's really cool is that he wears warglaives, the moon-shaped weapons, and it is actually really cool because you can equip those and wear warglaives and have all these different warglaives as a demon hunter. So demon hunter obviously was big hype because you have these massive warglaives. Yeah. Also, glaives, they are, I don't know if I should spoil this to you, but these particular glaives that Illidan has, like the Illidan's warglaives, they are a rare drop from one of the raids, and they, if I'm not mistaken, can be equipped by rogues. And even in like Burning Crusade and whatnot, like they used to be sold for a ton of gold, and they are, they're quite rare. So it's a hype item to get, especially if you're a rogue, to just, be having these. They're cool.
Next time we're playing WoW, which is going to be in a few minutes, so, you guys won't see that in this video, so get jealous. But I wonder if you could check the prices of the weapon, if it's something that can be bought, just for curiosity's sake.
They can be. That nowadays it's not expensive. It's a common thing.
Yeah, I just wondered how much it would be. I don't want them. I just, just for like, you were curious, 1,000 gold or something.
You don't want Illidan's warglaives? Wow, okay.
I can't wear them because I'm not a demon hunter.
No, you can't, but you can want them.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
No, everyone wants them.
I want Gul'dan's walking stick.
I see. Yeah, as a mage. Yeah, probably. It's a very shitty stick, to be honest with you. The one that he has but we've seen that it beats birds really well. So if you're into that, it has its uses.
Hey, listen, I'll have you know, during our WoW playthrough, my first death was against a bird. I will take a walking stick if it beats birds.
That's actually true.
Insert clip here if these are editing in the future, by the way.
Right. Nah, in all seriousness though, thank you for watching these with me. I know that that everyone's time is precious, and even you who are watching us watch this, I really do thank you for sticking through this with us. And some of you may already be following our reincarnation of our WoW leveling journey the way it used to be. For those of you who don't know, I'm trying to take Neon through all of the expansions and all of the zones, and we are currently in a Burning Crusade. So we didn't go through the Azeroth fully. We just went to one zone. But I'm trying. Yeah, exactly. It's we didn't go through the entirety of Azeroth. We are hoping to come back at some point, but we are essentially trying to do Lore Master of expansions. Yeah.
Listen, we do have. I'm saying this when V doesn't know what I'm going to say yet, but we do have plans to hopefully go back and do some of the zones, and we are absolutely open that if there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 people, whatever, who say please do this zone, this zone would be really good, you'd enjoy this bit of lore or the story. If there is a particular zone that you think we should do that's in Burning Crusade right now, or even the base, Azeroth, I guess we should call it, because I just keep calling it base WoW. But if there's a particular zone, let us know. I'm really into this. I'm already looking at becoming an orc at some point, just to go around and get the orc lore, because after the Warcraft movie, I gained a lot of respect for them, and I don't know much about sort of undead stuff. So there's a lot of stuff I don't know. I don't know anything about the dwarves. there's a lot for me to learn there. So if there is something you want to see and you're invested in our journey, please do let us know. And of course, V, I'm going to steal your limelight here and just say, if you did enjoy our video here, enjoyed our reactions or maybe some thoughts, and honestly, I think V deserves a like on the video right now, because I think she's been really good at nailing down some bits of lore and tidbits and giving us information that maybe some of you guys maybe forgot, or maybe you already knew, and maybe you needed a recap or something, or maybe you haven't watched these before and you felt like you watched it with us. I think she deserves a like, and subscribe. Ring the notification bell icon. And I'm going to pass the video back to V now. Sorry.
No worries. Thank you. I always get a little shy when, when someone else is shouting me out, but thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for watching. I really do hope that you'll enjoy this video, and do check out the pinned comment, because you can actually find our full playthrough so far in the pinned comment, and hopefully you'll join. Even if you see this video in 2 or 3 years, we're probably going to be like in Pandaria or something like that, considering the pace.
Or maybe on the next expansion.
Pretty much. Still battling the Lich King. Thank you. Thank you for sticking around. Hopefully we will finish these expansions until we die. So that's the plan. I'm planning to stick with this one. So hopefully we'll have plenty of time to go through these expansions and enjoy all these stories. Take care. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in our next video. Probably Harbingers. No spoilers. I'll tell you later. Bye. Bye bye.